After you, master.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to Just Another Car Channel. And today we're gonna go pick up something for my car that is way overdue. I should have done this shit long time ago. And yeah, you guys coming along. Alright, so here they are. This is what I came to pick up. We got the Tanabe NF2 something spring lowering springs. And yeah, man, I need lowering springs. My car looks like a 4x4, so I needed to get that shit. And they came with 07 front springs. I mean 07 front shocks. So that's pretty good. My car is 03, so it's a better suspension. And I have 06 on the back of my car. So now it's gonna be a better suspension all around, so hopefully they work out. And yeah. All right, what's going on, guys? It's a day after the day we went to pick up the lowering springs. And yesterday I checked up the car just to check if everything was good down there to just swap in the lowering springs. But I came across the sway bar end link was off, like completely off the lower control arm from the passenger side. And the bolt was gone, so I mean, like the end link was just off the lower control arm. I'll show you guys that later. And as I was checking the end link, I saw that it was just stripped. So I guess whoever put it back on thought that they were doing it right, because if like it felt tight or whatever. But yeah, it was just stripped, and then the bolt came off. And I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, my car started making this whining noise, and it didn't grow a supercharger overnight. So I was thinking, and then the steering felt like super heavy, like heavier than usual. And so I thought that it was the power steering pump that went bad, and I still think that went bad. I don't think that just because the end link fell off, it's making that bad. So I went to AutoZone earlier today, and they didn't have it in stock, the end link. So I'm going to, well, I paid for it, and then supposedly it's gonna come in today till like 2:30 or so. So I'm gonna go around 3 and check it out. And if they do have it, I'm gonna try to fix it today. And before I put the lowering springs on, I'm gonna drive the car around like that for a bit, see if that kind of fixes the problem that I'm talking about with the whining and the steering feeling heavier and everything. But I highly doubt it. So I feel like that's gonna be the first maintenance that I have to do in a car, the power steering pump. Alright, guys, so this is the part I was talking about. This is the end link. And right now it's maybe 3-4 days after I went to get this piece, and I didn't have time to go change it or put the lowering springs, so I'm gonna do that right now. And today I'm flying solo, so it's gonna be a little bit hard to record, but yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna do the rear first just because it's the easiest, and we'll get to the front afterwards. Alright, guys, so to remove the rear springs, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is remove that bolt right there, and that whole assembly goes down, and all you gotta do is pretty much take the spring out. It has a head at the end, or I don't know what it's called, but I'll show you guys when I get it out. And that's all you gotta replace. The rear of these cars, if there's anything easy in these cars, is that. Everything else is hard as fuck, but that is pretty easy. So we'll do that, and yeah, hopefully it comes out clean. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy. Alright, so the old spring. new spring. So this is garbage. No, I'm just kidding. This is the part I was talking about. This is the thing we had to reuse to put it in the bottom. And yeah, should be it. Alright, so just make sure you get the rubber parts on the bottom, and then there's another one on the top. And yeah, we're just gonna jack it up, make it even with this. If it's hard to make it even, we can we're gonna put a screwdriver through it, and just to make sure that this aligns with this, and that should make our jobs a little bit easier. So yeah, that's a little pro tip, I guess. I don't know, not really, but yeah. And the rears are done, and yep, you can straight up see the difference. Maybe 2 fingers now, 1.5. Yeah, about 2 fingers. But man, it looks so much better already. So much better. Hell yeah, can't wait to do the front now. All right, so we're about to do the front side right now. And I got super lucky, the neighbor left. So we're gonna have a bunch of space to work with this, which is really good. We really need space. And this is the bar I was talking about, the strut bar, anti-roll bar, whatever you want to call it. And if you have an impact gun, then this is like super easy to remove just like that. But since I don't, it's just like the whole pressure and everything is just really complicated. So what I do is I loosen up this bolt right here, and that makes this extend, and therefore it makes these bolts easier to take off. And that's how I do it. I'm sure that messes up with like the whole alignment and like all that stuff, but that's the only way I found to do it easier here at home without like tools. So that's what I do. And someone asked for an engine shot, so there it is in all of its glory and dirtiness. And I don't have that cover over there because weight reduction. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, also the wise internet says to jack up the car before you do this, before you loosen up the strut bar, just to take the pressure off of it and all that stuff. So I did it last time. I took these things off. So all right, so I got this loose already, and I don't want to make this a how-to just because I don't know how to myself, but it's gonna be the 14mm to take this bolt off. And then the actual struts is gonna be a smaller size, but for the actual bar is 14mm, just so you guys don't have to be guessing around and stuff. Kind of want to paint that, so I'll see what color I'll do it. But yeah, and after that exposes the 3 bolts to remove the strut. So I guess we're gonna start on this side, and the other side is the one with the messed up part that I'm talking about, the end link. So we'll do that after. So yeah, with the wheel off. To remove these bolts, you're gonna need a 12mm socket, and if you have an extension, it's gonna be even better just to reach like these spots right here. But I don't think you need them, but it'll just make your life easier. So 12mm for those. So first things first, you gotta remove those brake lines from I don't know, they just hold on the strut, I guess, just so they won't be flapping around. So that's the first thing you gotta remove. And right here we gotta remove the ABS line, I'm guessing. And for that one it's a 13. No, let me check. Yeah, a 13mm also. And that's the first thing gotta be done. Next step is to remove the sway bar end link right there, right with the lights out right here. And for that, and oh yeah, this is the one, the part that fell off on the other side. I'll show you guys later, but pretty much this nut fell, this whole thing came off of it, so the lower control arm is by itself and there's nothing supporting this. So I'm not sure if that's what's causing the noise that I'm talking about. I really doubt it. And if that's the case, oh man, that's gonna be the best day of my life. But yeah, life ain't that simple. So yeah, that's the next thing that we gotta remove. All right, to take the end link off is pretty easy, but it took me a while to figure it out before. But there's a nut right here, that you can hold, and that one's a 19 millimeter, and the bolt right here is a 17 millimeter. So when you're spinning this one without holding this, the whole thing spins. So in the beginning, the first time I did this, I was just going at it for like 20 minutes and that thing it didn't come off. And so then I figured that out. Also, there's a Allen key kind of hole in there. I guess you can use that also to hold the middle part from moving and just spinning the bolt, but I find this way easier to do. But the other piece that I bought doesn't come with this thing to hold it right there, so I think I'm gonna have to use the Allen key bolt, Allen key hole, whatever. But yeah, this is how you take the end link off, and I need to take this off so I can push the lower control down so I can take the strut out, and then I'll show you guys why I'm doing this. Next step is to remove the actual strut from the lower control arm, and that's gonna be a 17 millimeter bolt right here and a 17 millimeter nut on the other side. And yeah, that was pretty straightforward, so let's get to do that right now. Okay, after you take that bolt out, this is where I do things differently. I don't know if you guys can see that, but right there, right there, see, I gotta take that pin out, and then I'm gonna take that bolt out, and then that's gonna allow me to move this whole thing down and out, so I can push that lower control arm down. But this is what I do, and what people usually do is take this bolt out and this one out so they can remove the upper control arm out. But the upper control bolt thing goes through here, and it's just a long ass bolt, and it's just a bitch to get out. So, and then when I did this, this is what I did. This is the method that I did without even checking, or like I checked this afterwards. I found out about it afterwards, but I never really learned how to do it that way. So I did it this way. But when you're doing it this way, you gotta be really careful, because you can mess the, I don't know if it's the bolt joint, or I don't know what the name of the part is, but it's really sensitive, so you gotta be really careful with it. And you gotta get a jack to support this whole part. Yeah, one more thing, when you get the nut out of there, just have something supporting this part, because pretty much it's gonna be loose. Nothing's gonna be holding it in place, or up or down. So just put a jack under, and then like keep an eye on it just so it will move, because the lines are still on it, like the brake lines and the ABS line. So you definitely don't want to rip those off. So just keep an eye on it while you take the shock off, and then you put the lower control arm down and all that stuff. So yeah, just be careful with it. Alright, so a tip before tightening everything up: put the strut in, right? Then don't put the bolt through it yet. Make sure that this part goes in it first. Put the bolt through it so it stays on there. So make sure you pull this down under the lower control arm. Get the bolt through the hole. Put the nut on it just so it will stay secure there. And then before you tighten that up, then you start working on this. So you make sure that it fits right up there. You push it up, align it right here, and that's the next step. And after that, you put the end link on there. And after all this is done, then you start tightening this up, and that should make your life easier. And yeah, we're pretty much done with the first strut. And on the other one, I'm just gonna show you how the end link came off, and pretty much the rest is gonna be the exact same thing. Bolts on the top, all you gotta do is check up the car on the lower control arm so it can push up, and these things can stick out, and then you just put the bolts back through it. Pretty simple job. It's gonna take you some time, that's all. So if you're gonna do this, just make sure you have at least 5 hours spare, and don't fucking lose bolts, damn it. Right, so like I was saying, the end link came off from right here. The bolt is gone. I mean, the nut is completely gone, and that part right there is threaded as fuck. It's nothing that can fit through it. I mean, all the nut that's supposed to go there is just won't fit. And all I gotta do is take this one off, the old one and put the new one on. So we'll see if it's hard. I'll let you guys know. All right, so it's replaced. It wasn't that hard. It was just a little bit stuck in there. The stock one, the OEM, was 17 millimeter, and this one that I bought is a little bit bulkier. Like, it looks more beefier. So the bolts, at least this one up here, is a 19 millimeter. So that's gonna, and right now I have a 19 millimeter wrench, so it's gonna make it a little bit hard for me to tighten. But yeah, it was pretty easy, and hopefully this fixes the problem I'm talking about. I really doubt it, but I mean, you know, one can only hope. All right, so this is how the front is sitting. I'm finally done with all of them, back and front. And the front only has like one finger space, but my fenders are rolled already, and the camber's gonna take care of the rest. So it's sitting pretty nice. I like how it looks. It's not too low, especially in the back. That's what I was more concerned about, because I had lowering springs before, and they were like weak ones. I don't, Manzo or something like that they were called, and the back was just bottoming out like nasty status. But this is how it's sitting right now. I like it a lot. And yeah, it took me like 3 hours or so, just because I was stopping and recording every, like, little steps and stuff. But yeah, man, it looks so nice. All right guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.